Lampert Lumber has an impressive history. It all began with one small operation founded by Jacob and Leonard Lampert in 1887 and has since flourished into the successful business it is today, spanning more than 30 locations across 5 states. After working in the industry for several years, the Lampert brothers purchased their first lumberyard in the town of Sleepy Eye, Minnesota. After just 3 years, Jacob and Leonard purchased a second lumberyard in Mankato, Minnesota. While Jacob managed the yard in Sleepy Eye, Leonard managed the yard in Mankato. The brothers were able to sell high-quality lumber to the local farmers and other tradesmen. By the late 1800s, the Interstate Commerce Commission was requiring that small towns be built every 6 miles alongside the railroad tracks. Each community usually just had a general store, a grain elevator, and a lumber yard. This created a great area of opportunity for the Lampert brothers, who were able to build another 10 yards by the turn of the century. By 1900, the brothers were dealing in such large quantities of lumber that they moved their headquarters to the Twin Cities so that they could be closer to the source of supply. Eventually, in 1924, it was decided to split the company in two. Leonard's son became president of half of the yards that they named Lampert Lumber, while Jacob's son Horace took the reins as president of Lampert Yards, what is now known as Lampert Lumber, in 1928. Horace successfully maneuvered the company through the Great Depression and pre-World War II era. During that pre-war era, Lampert Yards had grown to owning 58 lumber yards. Unfortunately, in 1938, Horace tragically drowned. At this point, Horace's brother-in-law, John K. Fessler, was elected as president. Lampert Yards grew steadily during the 1940s and 50s, purchasing lumber yards one at a time. By 1966, John K. Fessler retired, leaving the company to his 2 sons, David R. Fessler and John L. Fessler, as president and vice president, respectively. From 1966 to 1994, there was quite a bit of consolidation. Many of the smaller yards closed, and the larger yards began to resemble the home improvement store model instead of simply a lumber yard. 4th-generation owner Daniel Fessler took over in 1994. He was proud of the company that his family built. He knew the importance of holding on to the traditions of those before him, while adapting to the computer age and the changes in the construction industry. In 1995, Scott's Lumber of Sioux Falls was purchased. Taking over as president of Lampert Lumber in 2005, Bob Egan continued with the tradition of providing quality products. He continued to maintain the culture that made Lampert Lumber the supplier and employer of choice. In 2012, Lampert Yards changed their name to Lampert Lumber. Lampert Lumber was purchased in 2015 by US LBM and became part of a family of more than 30 operating companies and 250 locations across the country. Even though ownership has changed, the name of the company and service we provide remains the same. In 2017, current President Dennis Hoyt took the reins, with the goal of continued growth without compromising our tradition of service. Today, we look toward a future that is strengthened by the partnership with US LBM and our common commitment to operational excellence, and continue to live up to our mission of being more than an ordinary lumber company.